What is up, motherfuckers? And we are gonna jump into a game of Modern Warfare 2. It's gonna be on Rundown. I don't know how long this commentary is gonna be. It's probably gonna be a quick, maybe 10-minute or something. It might be 2 games, something like that. But I just wanted to talk about some recent events that have been happening in my country of America. So, it's kind of bullshit to have to talk about this, and I know y'all don't want to hear kids talk about this type of stuff, but my generation, especially, is the people that actually need to be taught and learn about this stuff. Not learn, sorry. That need to learn about this stuff. Because, I mean, 20 years down the road, we're gonna need to know how to prevent this from happening again, and just make sure bullshit stays, or bullshit needs to stay, and stops there. Because there was just so much shit that got stuff blown out of proportions the other day. Ah, shit, I got knifed. But, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the game, and this is like, you're gonna see me doing really shitty, and I don't care, because it's not about the game right now. But, no, it's just shit got blown out of proportion. Yes. 2 innocents were killed the other day. I believe that those when I saw it, both of them were posted on the same day, so I think it was either July 7th or July 6th of 2016. And like I said, they were definitely bullshit. Stuff like that should not have happened, but it did. Those innocent people should not have died. But I think what our country is trying to do, there's half of it and half of it that's trying to do the exact opposite. Half of it is like trying to say basically that innocent for an innocent, basically all cops are bad and everything. So I'm not going to go into too much about the stories, because y'all, if this is important to you, y'all should know the story about how innocent people were basically straight up murdered by cops. 2 different locations, 2 different states and everything. And that half of the country is trying to say that all cops are bad. Which is completely not true. And I believe that everyone actually knows that in their mind. They're just trying to find someone to blame for what happened. And, I mean, there is blame to be put on the 2 cops that actually did it. It's not to be put on cops in general. Because if you put that blame onto one person, or on the one, I mean, it's kind of, I'm not going to say hypocritical, but if it is taken and blown out of proportion, and just placed on, place the blame on one group of people, that group of people being cops and everything, how they're all bad, then it's just not going to work out for anyone. I mean, who are you going to call when you actually do need a cop, and when you realize that not all cops are bad? Yes, I do agree. Those 2 cops that were in both of those videos where you could clearly see them straight up basically murdering 2 innocent people, they need to lose their job, they need to be put in jail, because that was complete bullshit. I do agree. But what happened last night was completely bullshit, okay? That's what pissed me off. Not the most. They equally pissed me off. But the fact that, as of right now, 11 people were shot last night by a sniper in Texas. And 5 of those cops were reported dead this morning. And that's what pisses me off, actually. You don't get how fucking system and shit works, okay? You have to realize that you can't just go around taking innocent for an innocent, which is what I think those people, it's not right, but Tyrone Magnus said it best, okay? The people in the sniper basically put it in his mind, that taking innocent and innocent will show cops to respect the people and everything, which I think I'm gonna say 95%, because, you know, there's always gonna be those bad cops and everything. 95%, in my opinion, don't agree. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me, okay? I could care less about your fucking opinion, okay? This isn't about your fucking opinion, it's about my fucking opinion. So 95, in my opinion, of cops 95% of cops are fucking just doing their job, okay? They put their lives on the line every fucking day for wherever you are. If there's a shooting, they're gonna be there because they don't care who you are, but all they want to do is make sure that everyone's safe and everything, and that's their job. So I'm not saying that the 2 occasions yesterday were preventing them from doing their job, but when a cop tells you to stop, this is not happened yesterday. This is not referring to the 2 videos yesterday. 2 videos, those guys in the videos that were murdered did nothing wrong. But in the past, there have been multiple occasions of where people have blown it out of proportion, of where they're just not listening to the cop and everything. And yes, you're gonna bring in those fucking bullshit laws about how if you feel like you're being unfairly unlawfully apprehend, then you are technically allowed to fight the apprehension and everything. But when you're holding a gun up to a fucking cop and you're about to take their life and they take it before you, that is completely fucking fine. If you're holding a gun up to a cop and all they're trying to do is their goddamn job and you're just a fucking criminal, either put the fucking gun down or you're gonna fucking die. I mean, that's what I believe in. I mean, if someone's holding a gun up to my father's face and he's gonna shoot him, if someone's holding a gun up to my face, I'm gonna fucking shoot him. I mean, I'm a fucking Georgian kid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I know how to use a gun. I mean, I have guns all around the house. I mean, they're in safes and everything. We have multiple guns in safes. We have multiple guns that have ammo in their magazines. And we will, if someone breaks in our house, we will use those guns if they have guns. We're not just going to shoot someone if they're unarmed and they're in our house. We're going to tell them to get the hell out or they're going to be shot. That's what our problem was yesterday. That guy was not... He literally straight up told the officer that he had a gun on his side. He was reaching for his wallet. Basically, what the guy did is he told the officer told him to get his wallet out and show him identification. All the dude in the car did... I can't remember names. Excuse me for not being able to remember names. All the guy in the car did was just tell the cop that he had a gun on his side, that he was armed, that he has a concealed carry license. Completely freaking legal. Now, what the cop did was not legal, and the cop shot him. Basically because he was reaching for his wallet, which the cop is what told him to do. It was bullshit. And I completely agree for everyone who's fighting freaking Southface. And in Texas, if you want to fucking rebel and everything, not rebel, but have... the best way is it started out as a fucking peace gathering, basically, and then it turned into a fucking bloodbath with the sniper shooting 11 cops, and I believe more were injured other than just cops. That is the type of people that the cops are trying to prevent. And it just so happened that there were 2 cops that should not have been in that position. And shit happens, and I feel like my country, or as in my country, my generation, is the one that needs to be straight up speaking about this and learning about this and how it can be prevented. Because in 20 years, we're going to be put in the same fucking situation. Because... let's put it this way, there's always going to be bad people, there's always going to be good people. Doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter the race, it doesn't fucking matter. Always going to be good, always going to be bad. That's the main thing. The underlining is good and bad, not black, white, Mexican. I mean, you can fucking see my mouth moving when I'm getting angry because it's fucking bullshit. We should not be having these problems in 2016, and it just should not be happening, but yet it's always going to happen just because we cannot have a perfect world. I mean... as much as I wish to say, I wish we could have a perfect world. But in today's society, we should be able to. But it just doesn't work out because there's always going to be, like I said, there's always going to be good people and there's always going to be bad. There's always going to be racist people and there's always going to be people fighting for equality. There's always going to be those people that are fighting for equality the right way, the peaceful way, and there's always going to be people fighting for equality the harmful way. Okay?
Care package on the way.
It's bullshit. None of this should have happened, and I wish to say that none of this did happen, but that would be a lie. Okay? Now, I am a 17-year-old white male, and I'm a 17-year-old white male, and this is just what I believe, and people are going to say, I like the cops because I'm white, and that's just not completely true. Put the fucking race aside. I like the cops because in my little city of Peachtree City, Georgia, we actually have a very friendly area, okay? We normally don't have very much crime around here. You could say I'm privileged, but almost everyone in my area is privileged. I mean, a lot of people are spoiled, a lot of people aren't. That's just the thing. I'm personally one of those people. We're about middle wealth. We're about the middle class American citizen, but I don't get spoiled. I mean, I work for myself. I've actually an assistant manager at my job, which I'm not going to say just because I don't want to give away too much information, but I'm assistant manager at my job, and I have been working there for over a year and a half, and I'm only 17. So, I mean, it's just you got those people that are raised differently, and again, I'm going to use Tyrone Magnus's, not necessarily illusion, but his, basically, the way it is, not the way it's told, but the way it is. A lot of these cops, Tyrone Magnus said this exact, so I'm not taking credit for this, but a lot of these cops become cops because they were bullied as a kid, and they have something to prove, and they have something to get off their chest, and they're just going to be mean. I mean, not a lot, I'm not going to say most of them, I'm going to stop saying a lot, but there are cops that join the military because they were bullied, or not the military, excuse me, that join the the police department because they were bullied as kids. And excuse my stuttering, I can't really think right now because I'm so flustered. But they joined the police department because they were bullied as a kid, and that's where the situation stops. This is a little anti-bullying thing that he put into his explanation of all this. And I'm just rambling on, but I mean, they were bullied as kids and they have something to prove, and they think that they have something to prove, and they just want something to get off their chest, so they become cops, and they think that they have more power than everyone else. Some. I'm not saying it's all. Okay? I am personally pro-cop. I am not anti-cop. Get mad at me if you will. I could care less what you think. Okay? And then you have the bulliers that come cops because they still think that they have someone to prove. They still think that they have something to prove. The bully, like, that's the reason why people bully. In my aspect of thinking, that's the reason why people bully, because they have something to prove. And without something to prove, then why bully? I mean, that's the way I think of it. So the bullies become cops because they think they still have something to prove, and the bullied become cops because they were so tragically bullied as a kid that it makes them feel terrible, and they just want to take it out on someone else, both ways. And then you just have people that just grow mad, and that should not be in any situation like that. And like, if you're crazy, then someone should have noticed that before, and you shouldn't be a cop, or you shouldn't be at the position where you are, where you're about to murder someone, or you did murder someone. And that is exactly what happened yesterday. In my opinion, those cops should not have even had to pull out their guns. I mean, there was an alternative way to get that guy on the ground. If he was resisting, I didn't see he was, but if he was resisting, you'd have to fucking shoot him 6 times. All you had to do is either pull out your taser and tase him, because that would definitely fucking stop him, or you could have just pulled out your baton or your nightstick and done it that way. I mean, it's just, it's common fucking sense, okay? That's all you have to, that's all the situation was. It should have been handled with common sense, but it wasn't. Tragically, it was taken into an extreme, and now the United States as a whole is facing extremes because people in other cities don't know how to deal with something like this, and people in other states also don't know how to deal with something like this, and it is making it really hard for everyone to get along because we are split as a nation. People who are not necessarily anti-cop and cop liking, but people that put their own 2 cents in, and it makes everything worse because they can't just realize that their opinion isn't the only opinion that's there, and their opinion is not the only right opinion. There are rights and wrongs to both sides, and yes, I feel like people need to recognize that and everything, and I feel like also people need to recognize the rights and wrongs of the other side. And it's like, I'm not doing anything about the presidential race or anything, but it was what happened was retarded. My heart's go out to all the families of everyone who died. It goes out to I can't think of their names, I'm sorry, but it goes out to the 2 men that were shot and killed tragically by the cops. And it also goes out to those 5 cops that were shot and killed by that sniper in Texas, and the 6 cops that were injured by that sniper in Texas. Sadly, 13 lives could have been, 7 lives could have been spared yesterday, and 13 should have gone unharmed. But sadly, in today's society, 2016, not even just in America, all over the world, they say they don't have these problems, but you actually find out that they do. Australia has problems like this. Canada has problems like this. Everywhere in the fucking world, you're not gonna find somewhere that just completely embraces everyone. And you might be able to find a couple people like that, but you won't be able to find a whole nation that has no racism, a whole nation that has no flaws. Everyone has flaws, and more flaws are major than others, and that's what we saw yesterday. I just want to thank you guys for watching. I know it was kind of a ramble and it's not the best commentary, but I thought you might want to hear from a 17-year-old's perspective that has done quite a bit of research on a topic like this. And not that I'm saying a 17-year-old opinion should matter now, but I think we need to start taking a look at the 17-year-old, 16-year-old, this generation, whatever they call us, millennials, I guess, I don't know, our generation, because we are going to be the people running the country in 20, 30, 40 years to come, and we need to learn how to prevent things from happening like this as much as we can. I'm not going to say we're always going to be able to do it, but if we try our best and everything, we need to make it better than it is, because it's just not going to work out if this keeps happening, because the way it's going, school shootings, people are starting to keep blaming things on race. People are going to keep blaming things on whatnot. If it was, we don't know if it was race or not. I'm not trying to get anyone's panties in a wad, but no evidence in either situation. It's just they both happen to be a certain color. And then, if we keep fighting the cops and we just have this war against the cops, and it's going to get worse. Basically, the moral of the story is innocent lives should have been saved, both yesterday and the videos. Innocent lives should have been saved. No one should have died. No one should have been hurt. And basically, this video is just basically saying, I keep saying basically a lot, I know, I'm sorry, but this video is just to say that we as a country need to learn how to prevent stuff like this from happening, and we need to learn how to prevent we just need to learn how to prevent, I'm sorry, I can't even put words into a sentence to get my point across, but I hope I get my point across here. But we need to learn how to prevent things exactly like this from happening, not just in our country, but in other countries, because it's never going to get better unless we set an example for other countries, and if other countries need to set an example for us. We need to learn how to live as a nation instead of separated, because this is exactly what happened. This is exactly what caused the Civil War. We couldn't live as one, and certain people didn't accept other people's values, qualities, and everything, and that's exactly why war happens. I don't want to say that we're going to have another Civil War or anything, because I'm not saying that, but the worse and worse this gets, the more hatred is going to grow out of this instead of fixing the problem. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said again, my heart goes out to the 13 people that either died or were injured yesterday, whether they were cops or not. The 2 innocent men. I just want to say I'm sorry, and I hope you guys have a nice night, and thanks for watching.